Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. Obviously, I haven't done one of these in a really long time, I'm going to say right now, but I wanted to come back and review this show with a lot of news going on in AEW tonight. One thing we should start off talking about real quick is the new television deal for AEW. Has been rumored for many months now whether this television deal was going to be big or not, especially with the dealings of Warner Brothers Discovery. We just been hearing negotiation, but they have finally reached a deal. Apparently, it's a 5-year deal that's going to go for $150 million each year. I know that AEW programming is gonna be on Max now of Collision and Dynamite. I know Rampage wasn't really mentioned, or even no, sorry, Rampage and Ring of Honor. Dynamite will still be on TBS. Collision will stay on TNT on Saturday. I'm honestly surprised Collision is still even going to be around at this point because that show has fallen off. Rampage, maybe they're going to be getting rid of Rampage. I don't know who's really watching Rampage at this point. Ring of Honor, then again, I don't know who's really watching Ring of Honor at all, also, too. But, one thing I can really say about this deal, I know they said pay-per-view is going to be on Max now, and it's going to be on a discounted price. I don't know what those numbers going to be with this discount price, especially depending on how much the pay-per-view costs in general for AEW. But given this deal, I'm assuming it's good. A lot is going to happen in January when they start going to Max and everything. So it is going to be interesting where that goes, especially if you have a Max subscription. You're going to get to watch AEW on there instead of having to go to a stream and you're not really paying anything to get TNT or TBS. As for pay-per-views, though, like I said, with a discounted price, we'll see what happens. So what I could say about this deal and everything, I guess it seems pretty good for them. I don't know if it's what they wanted and everything, but once again, like I said, there really wasn't any mention of Rampage or ROH and everything, or even on True TV. I think they were on there too for AEW, but I don't think they were mentioned too. Also, I know people are going to question now whether will Dynamite and Collision still be 2-hour shows? Could it be 3 hours? Especially after tonight, it felt like almost a 3-hour show. And I know there was still rumors about whether AEW was going to have a new show, Shockwave, apparently, and that Fox would be involved at FS1. We don't know that, or maybe there's still dealings in that. I'm not really sure, but given what I've seen today, they actually do have a deal going on right now. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens from there. But actually, moving on to this 5-year anniversary show for AEW Dynamite, we did kick it off with a video somewhere, some cinematic video with the Blackpool Combat Club, as they talked about Wheeler Yuta, saying, is he going to join, that you need to join us or you'll become a casualty, and that they're taking over, and everybody spoke. Shafir spoke in a different language. Mox basically said it's his duty, he's going to retire Bryan Danielson and take the AEW World Championship, so, we're going to get more into that later. On commentary, we did have Excalibur, Nigel McGuinness, and Tony Schiavone. Taz was not there, but they said they were going to get into that later on. The first match they kicked off is obviously the dream match, as everybody wants to say, or it's for the sickos, as people would put to for Tony, which was Will Ospreay versus Ricochet for the AEW International title. Before the match even happened, Ospreay was talking to Kyle Fletcher. Don Callis and Takeshita showed up, saying that him and Fletcher were gonna we'll talk later, but they gotta get to the airport. Ospreay just kind of looked at them then before he walked off. Listen, let me say this about this match, and I know some would say it's not a lot of build to it, or some say it should have been on pay-per-view. And listen, if you've seen Will Ospreay versus Ricochet before, I think you already know how this is gonna go. Okay, because I'm sure everybody out there is going to say it's a bunch of flips and dives and all that stuff, which is true. If you've seen any of their matches before with each other, you know what's going to happen, and the whole handspring thing with them landing. Come on, you know how a lot of this stuff goes. And it wasn't bad. It was really, like I said, it was actually really good out there. But I'm sure people are not going to like the finish to this match. Okay, so it's almost like we did a whole bunch of stuff to end up in damn near no contest damn near, because the first thing was a no contest because Ricochet ended up hitting his hidden blade from out of nowhere or whatnot, and looked like he was about to get the win, which was a double count, I guess. Which, first off, you got the Rick Knox referee, so you already know it was already going to be something stupid with him being the referee after what I saw last week. But then again, anytime Rick Knox is out there, it's always something stupid with him out there being the referee. Right after, because like I said, it ended up in a no contest, like a double pin, and Rick Knox just doesn't even know what to do, and both shoulders are down, and I guess they said it was a draw, so it's a draw first, which the fans got pissed off, but then Tony Khan said that the match was restarted. They both fight each other again, and like I said, Ospreay ends up hitting the hidden blade at one point, but then Takeshita comes out and attacks, so that ends in a no finish. So now I'm sitting there wondering, is going to be some tag team match now coming up, or maybe we'll get a rematch at Wrestle Dream if they want to add that match at the last minute. I don't know. But the fact that this ended in a no contest now, after a somewhat double count out, now we got a DQ finish. Like, what are we doing here? And then Takeshita, which he got some good heat, and he ended up beating up both Ospreay and Ricochet, and fans chanting asshole. But yeah, the fact that everybody wants to go say the dream match and everything, which obviously they hyped up to get ratings for this show, but show and whatnot. But now I'm assuming this is going to happen on pay-per-view soon again. Will they run this back? I don't know. But I just think it's kind of crazy. We went from a double count to, like I said, it's a double count draw, now going into a no contest DQ finish type of shit. So what does that really tell you about all of this? I don't know. It's almost like stuff just happened out here for nothing. But right after that, Mercedes, I guess, who decided to show up this week, but I guess she just been on the Breakfast Club and everything during this time, basically talking about the anniversary show. And MVP just showed up, handing her his card, which I'll tell you, man, that Hurt Syndicate, since MVP debuted last week, obviously the Hurt Syndicate is coming, and hell, my friend even called this. He kind of knew who was going to be in this group, so I think all the numbers are starting to come into play. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. Chris Jericho, I believe, was next with the Learning Tree. Wow, it's always something ringing off. Yeah, phone making noise there, but yeah, like I said, Chris Jericho and them coming out. I know they showed some highlights of Jericho. We got a lot of highlights throughout the show, throughout the 5-year history of AEW, so at least they show a lot of footage through there. But like I said, the Learning Tree came out, and he said congratulations for AEW on 5 years, and even having a television deal now. And Jericho basically saying, thanks guys, and, you know, fans started saying, y'all couldn't have done it without me. And fans saying, thank you, Christian, thanking him. And that it's also his 34th anniversary since his wrestling debut. And that he's still here, and he even said Philadelphia, even though this is Pittsburgh, by the way. But he talked about how he headlined Arena Mexico, and he beat Mark Briscoe on Collision. So now he says that it's time for the Ocho to become to the Nueve, and he wants another title shot for the Ring of Honor Championship at Wrestle Dream. Mark Briscoe came out with the conglomeration. I guess Rocky Romero's in now for some reason, but Mark Briscoe said that, yeah, what happened at Grand Slam, Big Bill got me, and then you just snuck up and pinned me then. Briscoe said, you know, you're one of the most influential and finest pro wrestlers in the last 4 decades, but I would love to face you for this title. And he said it would be consequential and whatnot to put your legendary head on his wall and whatnot. But Jericho says, I don't think you could beat me. Maybe your brother Jay could have. Which obviously going to get heat and whatnot. But, yo, everybody knows you'll never be as good as Jay was. Mark Briscoe punched him and said, keep my brother's name out your mouth. And I'm going to give you a Briscoe Brothers style ass whooping at Wrestle Dream. So that's going to be consequential. So that match is on. I know some people are not going to like that, like what he said out there. Obviously, this is supposed to get heat and everything. But, you know, somebody said it best. If Christian can go out there talking about everyone's dead fodder out there almost every week, should we really be mad if Jericho's bringing up, you know, Jay Briscoe's name? I know it's only been about what? It's only been like over a year at this point since he passed away. So I know people are gonna question that, but obviously it's gonna lead into the match. Like I say, at a Wrestle Dream between Mark Briscoe and Jericho. So we'll see what happens there. Darby Allin was sitting on some car talking about how he used to ride the bus and was about to like fight 3 guys that spat on him and said, you know, was gonna end up stabbing him, and everybody on the bus ended up, you know, broke the fight up. But he talked about, how he lost his title shot last week and how he went against John Moxley. But now he said he wants to open challenge at Wrestle Dream. So anybody wants to step up, bring it. So don't know what that's going to lead to, but we'll see what happens with Darby, especially after they just kind of had him, like I said, the whole put his title shot on the line thing didn't really make a lot of sense last week still. So at least he tried to explain it right here. Hangman Page went against Juice Robinson. He ended up beating up the other Bullet Club Gold members early in the night. They both fought through the crowd for a very good amount of time for getting back in the ring, which, one thing to also point out, too, is that AEW is going to be going against NXT next week. I don't think it's at the same time. I think an hour after, which is a go-home show of AEW next week, given its Wrestle Dream coming up. But it is interesting that they're going to be going against NXT on the CW now, so I don't know what AEW has planned all for next week for this Championship Tuesday night. Championship Tuesday, I think it's called. Especially going against NXT when they're supposed to have, like, Randy Orton on there and Sexy Red performing. So, don't know how much that's going to draw, but we'll see what goes on from there. But, yeah, Hangman went against Juice Robinson. Match wasn't bad. Hangman ended up just low-blowing Juice and then hit him with the buckshot. But then he tried to use a belt and start choking out Juice Robinson with it and trying to hang him. Jay White's music hit, so Jay White finally returned. We haven't seen him in months now due to injury. Jay White ended up just going at Hangman Page from out of nowhere. They went into the crowd. They ended up putting through a table that was up, which was kind of placed early in this match. But Jay White put him through the table then, say he was going to be coming for Hangman. So good to see Jay White back, and they got something for him. Especially, Hangman, given his feud after Swerve, they had him go against Jeff Jarrett, and I think it was some strap match on Collision on Saturday. I didn't really watch it that much, so I guess Hangman won that, so I guess I can move that on now to Jay White. So good to see him back, and we'll see where that goes. Jack Perry was arriving to the building on his Magic School Bus. Shibata showed up wanting a title shot, and he said, "Think about it." Then he tried to use his translation thing, and then Jack Perry start beating him up then. And I just kind of wonder, like, are they really going to have Shibata job Jack Perry? It was already odd enough I saw on Collision that Suzuki ended up jobbing to Jack Perry. Even though he lost by count out, it's like, so we just have a Jack Perry just try to beat up top, like, legit guys now. And I'm supposed to believe Jack Perry's going to beat Shibata? Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't really know what to think about all that right there. Right after that, Britt Baker, who is back since All In, which is convenient to be here in Pittsburgh or Britsburg, her hometown. So this is probably the only place she can get cheered right now. And especially, listen, man, that match was horrible back at All In between her and Mercedes, and I put blame on both of them. Okay, that match was bad for multiple kind of reasons, whether it be the whole Britt Baker allegedly sandbagging or Mercedes having creative control or just the match not being good in general, okay? It's a lot. And I'm sitting there wondering, like, she's supposed to take Serena Deeb to the limit, which, by the way, the fans are going to be on Britt Baker's side. I know Mariah May was out there. I felt like the crowd died throughout some of this match. I don't know if it just went too long or something, but I don't know. I feel like the crowd kind of somewhat died. I don't know. Pittsburgh's a rough crowd, but like I said, she's got the whole Pittsburgh Steelers colors on and all that. And she ended up tapping out Serena Deeb after doing the air raid crash and then hit the lockjaw, having her tap out, which is kind of crazy. Baker just ended up, celebrating with her parents then. Deeb attacked her, but then Queen Aminata came out and made the save and stood tall with Britt Baker then. So I don't know where they're going to go with Baker, if this face turn is going to work, especially just after how bad that feud with Mercedes was. I wonder how this is going to go now for Baker, given that we just hear so much news about Baker that's more about negative in recent times, whether it be just her starting stuff in the back or having beefs with multiple people, or apparently this breakup with Adam Cole. We'll see what happens Baker now, but given it was a hometown, she was going to get cheered. Hook was in the back. I guess they said Taz got beat up, so he wasn't going to be on the show, and Hook was just pissed saying he's coming for whoever did it, which I now feel like is Christian Cage, given what Christian Cage's promo talking about he's going to be the next AEW World Champion, your father figure, and he said hook, line, and sinker. So I feel like Christian literally just gave it away saying he beat up Taz, so now he's going to be in a feud with Hook now, so I think that's going to happen next. Mariah May was in the back. Willow Nightingale talked about I still getting a title shot, which they ended up brawling with each other in the end, and Christopher Daniels had to break it up. Private Party beat the Iron Savages. Let me say this about Private Party real fast. Okay, so I know it's the 5th-year anniversary, and they talked about how they were on the 2nd episode of AEW Dynamite, and they beat the Young Bucks, which was 5 years ago, folks, and they haven't done nothing since. Yes, you could probably may have said it was injuries throughout time, but let's be honest. After they beat the Young Bucks, you think that something would have happened those many years ago, but nothing ever happened with Private Party, okay? I know Mark Quinn got hurt. I know what they end up calling him Brother Zay, Isaiah Cassidy with the Hardys then, but they haven't done shit. Nigga, that was 5 years ago, okay? Tell me what has Private Party done, other than in a little bit of recent times, I guess you could say right now. What else have they done in the past 5 years? Please tell me, because we barely even seen them on TV. Like I said, one was hurt and we saw the other one, but even when they came back, what have they really done important in these past 5 years? Shit. And still kind of right now, shit. And then they called out the Young Bucks saying we want a title shot right now. But the Bucks said they weren't going to go for it, especially in this town, even though it's the 5-year anniversary. And then Jack Perry attacked in, and then Shibata made the save. And Christopher Daniels said it's going to be a 6-man tag on Rampage, which I'm not really going to watch anyways. Then again, who's really watching Rampage in general? So who really cares now at this point? Oh, it's on Rampage. Who gives a shit? Literally. So I don't know where with Private Party, if they go anywhere after this, but this ain't really helping either. MVP was backstage, talking about his announcement, and Prince Nana showed up talking about, I used to be a wrestler, and, if you want to go, we can go out there. But MVP says, I'm not about to do this, but I got my business partner here, Shelton Benjamin, who got a big pop when we saw him. So Shelton Benjamin showed up. He's his business partner, the president of the complaint department. End up taking Prince Nana's coffee, saying some good coffee. So, hey, we got MVP here. We got Shelton Benjamin here. Maybe next week we get Bobby Lashley, or maybe he shows up at Wrestle Dream. I don't know. But the Hurt Business, or some are saying right now, the Hurt Syndicate is going to be happening real soon. So, hey, 2 down, 1 to go. MVP's here. Shelton Benjamin's here. Bobby Lashley. We're going to see what happens next week. Also I know they had even a video package for Brody Lee. I remember he's a big part of AEW too, so good way to transition from there. But then we get to the main event, which doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest. Okay, so this is a winner-take-all match. First off, apparently this match was announced on Twitter the other day, I think Monday. I didn't know about this match till early in the day, given the stipulation of this match, which doesn't make sense. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada for both the AEW World title and the AEW Continental title. But here's the thing. Okada's title is only on the line for 20 minutes. Now, yes, the Continental title does have a 20-minute, it's also a 20-minute time limit to these things. But here's the thing right here. If this is a winner-take-all match, 2 titles on the line, why are you still trying to do a stipulation and a double title match that doesn't really make any type of sense? Okay, if this was just for the Continental title itself, I understand the 20-minute time limit thing. But given this is for both the world title, which basically already tell me, so Bryan's basically going to win. Nobody was going to lose their titles right here. So Bryan's literally going to win after the 20-minute mark passes by. So we already kind of know that as it is anyways. So also for a match that we've seen twice before, which was, this is the rubber match. This is the 3rd match, folks. And we've seen the hype behind this match before, okay? From the Forbidden Door, even back to Wrestle Kingdom in January. There was a lot of hype to this match. And this was still a really good match. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But the stipulation doesn't really make sense going into it. And by the way, this was a very long overrun too. We had a 30-minute overrun. So AEW Dynamite went from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. tonight, which I'm surprised it went this long. I get it's a 5-year anniversary, but damn, I didn't expect this show was going to go on this long like that. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know what they were going. I'm like, man, it's going to be this long, given how late the main event started. I was like, damn, it's only like 9 minutes of the show, but they were going to go long. So obviously, listen, the match was good, even though I felt like the crowd reaction wasn't as hot as it once was when it becomes with these two. But listen, after the 20-minute mark, you already know how this was going to go. The stipulation didn't make no sense. And like I said, Okada still retains his Continental Breakfast title, whatever and whatnot, after what Bryan ended up hitting like a Rainmaker on him and all that and stuff. And Okada just rolled out of the ring. And then, like, through the next 10 minutes of this match as it kept going, Claudio and Pac end up showing up. And, like, these guys are just stealing each other's finishers out there and all that. Which, you know, the crowd, someone kind of got hyped towards the end, too. But, you know, Okada's looking around, trying to get another Rainmaker in. And he just kind of got distracted, and Danielson in the backslide, and it was over. Just like that. And Okada looked surprised, and then he hit a Rainmaker on him and just flipped off Claudio and Pac then after that. So, like I said before, this was a good match, but the hype behind it, and given that you just announced this without really any type of build at the last minute, it's like, what did Okada really do to get a title shot? And listen, somebody you to say that Okada's stock feel like it's gone down. Like, the hype behind him, given that he's been more of a comedy guy on AEW Dynamite, from a booking standpoint, this ain't the same Okada from NJPW, okay? Like, this is a different Okada now. This isn't the fucking Rainmaker that was the golden child over there, just winning all the G1s and world titles and just beating everybody, putting on. Like, and not saying this was a bad match or anything, but given where Okada's been from a creative standpoint recently, it's kind of been silly with him saying bitch all the time and whatnot. So it's Okada's run's been very debatable in AEW, okay? And then again, like I said, you should have hyped this up maybe a week before or something, because I'm like, when did this become a damn title match? Why is it a double title match? Why is one belt having a 20 time limit when it's a winner-take-all double title match, but we're still putting this weird stipulation in? And Okada won and everything and walked out, like I said before, but then, you know, the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club get in, and then they start holding Bryan, you know, just holding him, restraining him, and Moxley just shows up and get on the mic and say, you think this is about me? This isn't about me. We're fighting for something bigger than myself, but we have to get rid of you to do it, so I'm going to put you out of your misery. Willa Yuta ended up showing up there with a hammer from out of nowhere and chased them, chased off the Blackpool Combat Club. Moxley got back in, and it looked like he was almost going to hit Daniel, so I thought Yuta was obviously going to turn on Danielson. It really looked like it. But then Pac and Claudio got in the ring. Everybody started brawling. They said that Claudio didn't even really try to hit Pac, but Claudio hit Pac. I mean, Yuta tried to hit Claudio, I should say. I'm getting names confused right here. But Yuta showed up, y'all treat me like a child. So next week you want to get to Danielson, you got to go from me and him. So I guess next week's going to be, Claudio and Pac versus Yuta and Danielson. By next week, as Danielson did the yes chance. But then again, I could have swore WWE said they filed a trademark on yes now. So don't know where that's going to go next. But yet basically ended the show right here. So I still think the stipulation going in this main event still didn't make a lot of sense. I didn't think this was a bad match or anything, but I didn't even expect it to go basically 30 minutes also with this match too, if you look at the overall time of it. So this was a 2-hour and 30-minute show. So AEW must have bought a lot of overtime tonight to go on this long, okay? They bought a lot of overtime tonight. Y'all give the anniversary show one thing. At least they try to play clips from the past and whatnot. But kind of looking what I saw here and whatever this Mox thing is going to go, I don't know. And they're going to be going head-to-head with NXT, I guess, next week in this Championship Tuesday thing, which is a go-home show. So, yeah. But I look at this anniversary show, it's a lot to say from this. Like, other than the weird stipulation, the main event and all that, which I've already kind of explained. Shelton Benjamin making his debut got a big pop. Jay White returning to the show was pretty good too. Osprey and Ricochet, say what you want about it, whether you liked it or not. I was liking it until they came up with these damn screwy finishes with the draw and then the no contest in, which I'm assuming maybe they'll run it back on pay-per-view. I don't know. The Jericho stuff and Mark Briscoe, I don't know where that's going to go if Jericho even gets the Ring of Honor title again. We'll see. I'm not sure. Baker's the only person that's kind of still over in Pittsburgh because he's from Pittsburgh and whatnot, but maybe she'll get a title shot soon. I don't know, okay? It's a lot of things I don't know with this show right now, but hey, they got a new TV deal, so don't know if the booking will change or maybe the ratings, but hey, we'll see. That's more all I can really say about it, but other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, HoodNight890. I'm out of here. See y'all then. Peace. Hit the like button. Hit that, notification bell. Subscribe. Already repeating myself. And did you enjoy this 5th anniversary show for AEW Dynamite? So, yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comment section. But other than that, I'm out of here. See y'all then. Peace.